Hey everyone, Sean here. This video might be a little different if you're used to my top 5 lists, but I will still be counting some things down. Spring training is right around the corner. Pitchers and catchers are reporting soon. I'm getting really excited for the season. So, today, I am going to be telling you the 5 teams I am most excited and least excited to watch for the upcoming MLB season. And first off, I'm going to be talking about the teams I am most excited to watch. And I'll get my honorable mention out of the way, that honorable mention being the Washington Nationals. As my loyal subscribers know, and if you watch my videos a lot and you're not subscribed, I'd really appreciate it if you did. I love you. I am a San Francisco Giants fan. That's been my favorite team since I started watching baseball when I was 11 years old. But also during that season where I started watching baseball, my second favorite team became the Washington Nationals. Why, you may ask? Because I thought Nyjer Morgan was awesome. So there's a little bit of bias in this pick, but the Nationals definitely overperformed last season in 2023. Fangraphs Zips projections had the Nationals projected to finish with 64 wins. PECOTA had Washington only winning 61 games, but they actually finished with 71. So while they were a bottom 6 team in the league, to be fair, they showed more signs of life than most at the bottom. Before the All-Star break, they were winning 40% of their games. After the All-Star break, they were winning 48% of their games. Lane Thomas had a breakout year with 28 home runs and a 783 OPS. Joey Meneses put up a solid 275 average and 89 RBIs. CJ Abrams, who was one of the main pieces of the Juan Soto deal, had 18 home runs, 47 stolen bases, and led the team in WAR with 3.4. Kyber Ruiz, who came over in the Trade Turner and Scherzer trade to the Dodgers, had a very solid year as well, while catching and hitting 260 with 18 home runs and a 717 OPS. Some things I'm looking forward to are seeing if the pitching can turn it around. Patrick Corbin is god-awful. I have no hope for him, but Josiah Gray and Mackenzie Gore, some young pitchers they got in trades, I'd really like to see them, figure out this whole pitching thing. Josiah Gray did post the lowest ERA of his career last year, which is a positive. The only negative is he went from a 5.02 ERA to a 3.91. Let's see if we can do a little better. In August, Davey Martinez got a 2-year extension. So the Nationals are definitely in rebuild mode, but they're expecting to see something in the next few years after last year's surprising record. I have high hopes for this team. The kids are going to get another year to play. They're more confident. The Nationals signed some new coaches, including Gerardo Parra at first base coach. If the Nationals surprise people again this year, I'll be here to say I told you so. We are going to start the list now. At number 5, the team I'm 5th most excited to watch this year is the defending champions, the Texas Rangers. They are looking to become the first team since the 98 and 2000 Yankees to repeat as world champions, and almost all of their players from that championship squad are coming back. They've bolstered their bullpen with some free agent signings, David Robertson and Kirby Yates. Max Scherzer is expected back. Another signing they made was Tyler Mahle, who is unfortunately recovering from Tommy John, like Jacob deGrom. But also like deGrom, the Rangers are expecting to get him back later in the year. Some smaller signings they made have me a little excited. How about Diego Castillo, Matt Duffy, and Jared Walsh? If one of those 3 guys can tap into their past excellence, the Rangers are going to be in a great spot. And you guys know I'm excited for the announcement of what their new statue is going to be, hopefully. The Rangers, I'm sure, are happy with the World Series, but it definitely left a sour taste in their mouth seeing Houston come back at the end and win the division. So I want to see Texas take it. And I have a hard time believing the A's, Mariners, or Angels are going to put up a fight against these two. And that is why the Rangers are the team I am 5th most excited to watch this season. At number 4, I have the Los Angeles Dodgers, and how could I not? They signed Shohei Ohtani to a 10-year contract. They traded for Tyler Glasnow and then signed him to a 5-year contract. They signed Yamamoto, one of the most sought-after free agents from Japan in history, for a 12-year deal. They signed Big Maple, James Paxton. They signed playoff legend Clayton Kershaw. That's just the pitching. Jason Hayward re-signed. Manuel Margot acquired from the Rays. And if you're not a Dodger fan, then you're thinking, wow, they made more moves than my team has all offseason. That's just what they added. Here's the lineup they already had. Mookie Betts, Freddie Freeman, Will Smith, Max Muncy, James Outman, Gavin Lux coming back from injury? They already had Bueller, Gonsolin, May in the rotation. Miguel Vargas is in AAA waiting for another big shot. His team might win 140 games, and that's why they're on this list. You're either a Dodger fan and you're about to have the best regular season watching experience ever, or you're a fan of all the other teams excited for another October choke job, because now it's going to be even funnier than any time before. So, when the inevitable comes and Kershaw's bent over on the mound, crying in agony, watching the Dodgers dominate every team during the regular season will be worth it. That's why they're number 4. The number 3 team I am most excited to watch this season is the Baltimore Orioles. People thought they were going to be good last year. I don't think a lot of people thought they would win 101 games, especially in the first month of the year when the Rays seemed to win 50 in a row. While it was nice to see a new team in Texas win the World Series, I was very sad to see them sweep Baltimore. So you got to know that young core of players who all look the same are excited to try to redeem themselves from last year. So what did they do this offseason? They signed Craig Kimbrell for their bullpen, and they make a huge trade, getting Corbin Burns for 1 year. They're putting all their chips on the table. So along with those signings, we have to expect growth from Gunnar Henderson, Adley Rutschman, Jordan Westburg. Is there a possibility we even see Jackson Holliday this year, #1 prospect? I'm curious to see if the Orioles try to lock him up with a long-term deal, because the numbers he's putting up in the minor leagues are unreal. Boston's not winning this division. Toronto's not winning this division. It's going to be between Baltimore, the Rays, and the Yankees. I think the average fan would like to see Baltimore be the one to take that division of those 3. It's going to be good vibes all around in Baltimore this year. I'd love to see them make a deep playoff run this time, and that is why they are my number 3. At number 2, I have the St. Louis Cardinals. This team got off to a horrible start last year. They had some of the worst records in baseball in April and June, and they just couldn't recover. This was a team that was projected to possibly win the division, make the playoffs, and it shocked everyone when they just weren't even close by the end of the year. In this offseason, they addressed some things that needed to be fixed, aka the rotation. They added not 1, not 2, but 3 new free agent signings as pitchers. The Cardinals signed Lance Lynn, who made his major league debut on the 2011 Cardinals team who won the World Series, along with fellow veteran Kyle Gibson. But their flashiest addition was signing Sonny Gray to a 3-year, $70 million contract. Well, that sure has to help the pitching. And if Cardinal fans weren't feeling nostalgic enough with Lance Lynn coming back, another rookie on that 2011 team, Matt Carpenter, also signed a 1-year deal to return to the Birds. You know they have stars, Goldschmidt, Arenado, Contreras, and some really good young players. 2 former first-round picks, Nolan Gorman and Jordan Walker, had some struggles last year, also showed some signs of improvement. Lars Nootbaar can be good. Dylan Carlson, maybe he can be good. The Cardinals finished in last, and they are going to want retribution on that whole division. I might come out and say they're the favorite for me to win right now. So, was last year a fluke, or are they better than what they showed? We're going to find out. They're my number 2. And my number 1 team I am most excited to watch this year is the Cincinnati Reds. Like I said, the NL Central is wide open. And it would be cool to see the Cardinals win the division, but it would be really cool to see the Reds do it. Last year, they finished above 500 with 82 wins and 80 losses. Only 10 wins below the division-winning Milwaukee Brewers. This team went 500 or better in June, July, and September, showing everyone they have what it takes to hang with the big boys. I have no doubt Elly De La Cruz is going to figure out his strikeout problem because he is too good to not figure it out. I am sorry. We cannot have another Jared Kelenic situation on our hands. I need Elly De La Cruz to be amazing. We saw great years last year from guys like McClain, Steer, Benson, TJ Friedel, and Jonathan India. The Reds were already exciting before they made any additions. And they're in my number 1 spot because they're not going all in, but they're going more in than last year, and that's really exciting. Heimer Candelario signed a 3-year, $45 million contract and is going to play every day for the Reds, giving them a veteran switch hitter in the middle of their lineup. They signed pitchers Frankie Montas, Nick Martinez, and Emilio Pagan, making very nice additions to pitching staff, including young players like Hunter Green, Graham Ashcraft, and Andrew Abbott. There is no team I would like to win the Central more than the Cincinnati Reds. They have tons of young, exciting players. They play in one of the smallest ballparks in baseball. I love big offense games. This team is really reminding me of how everyone felt about Baltimore last offseason, and that is why the Reds are the number 1 team I am most excited to watch. I now now have the displeasure of starting my top 5 worst list. And just like the best list, this least exciting list will also have an honorable mention, and that honor goes to the New York Yankees. You may be thinking, Sean, they traded for Juan Soto. They signed Marcus Stroman. How could you say this? Well, here's how I could say it. They finished in 4th place last year with the same record as the Cincinnati Reds. 82-80, completely underperforming what anyone thought would be possible from the Yankees. They started strong, but when Aaron Judge went down with injury, it's like the entire team forgot how to hit. Anthony Rizzo was playing with a concussion. DJ LeMahieu was not good at all. They gave Anthony Volpe reps every day, and he was trash to say the least. Giancarlo Stanton looks like he's slipping on the ice in a Mario level when he's at the plate. I mean, what is this batting stance? Garrett Cole was great last year, but that was about it. Nestor Cortez was not his 2022 self. Carlos Rodon really needs a good year because what Yankee fans saw of him last year was atrocious. And I think trading for Alex Verdugo is a non-factor. Yeah, he's a lefty at Yankee Stadium, but he actually has to hit the ball for it to matter. I don't know, guys. I'm getting bad vibes from this team. Just like by the end of March last year, I knew the Padres were not going to make the playoffs. I'm feeling the same thing about the Yankees. Soto's only there for 1 year. Do we really think the Yankees are going to win the World Series this year? No. My prediction is Soto is gone by the trade deadline. Marcus Stroman fights Garrett Cole at least 3 times in the dugout. As an Italian myself, I know that the pitcher who liked an Italian racist tweet is going to have some issues with the Italian Yankees. And Trent Grisham sets a Yankee record with 6 errors in 1 game. Enjoy 4th place again, guys. Let's start this list for real. Number 5, the team I am 5th least excited to watch this season is my own San Francisco Giants. And it pains me to put them here, but they deserve it. Giants played great in May. Giants played great in June. They played okay in July, but after that, they just fell off a cliff. We got Bob Melvin as our coach, which I'm very excited about. And I do think Farhan Zaidi gets some undeserved slack. I will say he at least does pursue almost every big free agent, but the problem is no one wants to come here. Buster Posey admitted this offseason that there's a perception problem with San Francisco, which is really funny to me considering other big cities with baseball teams have very similar problems as San Francisco. But for whatever reason, there's too many ignorant players out there who think San Francisco is just such a shithole. All that to say, we did not get Stroman, we did not get Ohtani, we did not get Yamamoto. We did sign Jung-Hoo Lee from Korea, and I'm really excited to see what he can do on our team this year. But everyone agrees it was an overpay, and besides signing Tom Murphy and Jordan Hicks, that's really all we've done. We traded away some of the starting pitchers that pained us last year, and got Robbie Ray in return. Unfortunately, he won't even be able to play till after the All-Star break, along with Alex Cobb. So the Giants' rotation this year, besides Logan Webb, is just going to be projects and young players. And looking at the lineup, it starts to get nasty. Wilmer Flores is 32 years old, had one of the best years of his career last season. You cannot be expecting that again. Michael Conforto completely bombed his contract in his first year with us. Lamont Wade Jr. was injured on and off. I don't know what to expect from him. JD Davis is literally Matt Chapman with worse defense. And I mean that as a compliment, but I also mean that as he's very streaky at the plate. The shining star in last season was seeing Patrick Bailey put Joey Bart to shame and show what a real catcher prospect should be. But besides Patrick Bailey, Giants are going to need Marco Luciano, Helio Ramos, Luis Matos to really step it up this year. Because if they don't, we're going to be relying on Mike Yastrzemski and Wilmer Flores for late game hits. And that's what got us in our shitty position last year. So Giants, I'm begging you, can we please sign Snell? Can we please sign Bellinger? Can we please do something? Make a trade? Spring training's really soon, and I'm starting to get scared. Number 4 on my list of teams I am least excited to watch is the Milwaukee Brewers. This team has made the playoffs almost every season recently, and for whatever reason, they can never make it past the first round. While I'm sure it's great to have your team make it every year, consistently getting kicked out in the first round will have a fan base wanting their team to make some sort of drastic change. So what did the Brewers do? They trade away Mark Canha to the Tigers, non-tender Brandon Woodruff, and to cap it all off, trade away their ace who had 1 more year, Corbin Burns. You can obviously see what Milwaukee's thinking here. They want to be competitive every single year. And to do this, they are going to trade or cut players that they need to owe money to. And that's just miserable to me. What's the point of signing Rhys Hoskins to a 2-year contract? Do we really think Wade Miley and Joe Ross are going to save the rotation? I do respect them locking up Jackson Chourio, to an 8-year contract before he even plays a game in the majors, but I don't even think calling him up will save the Brewers. If you're a Brewers fan, you have to hope these young prospects you're acquiring and signing to extensions work out for you. Because if not, I'm not watching one game of this team next season. The number 3 team I am least excited to watch in the 2024 season is the Miami Marlins. The Marlins surprised everyone last season by making the playoffs with an 84-78 record. Then, to the surprise of no one, they got completely embarrassed by Philadelphia in the first round and swept. There was another National League team, however, who also finished with 84 wins and made the playoffs, the Arizona Diamondbacks. They made it all the way to the World Series. So, first round exit Marlins, World Series member Arizona Diamondbacks. Which team do you think felt more urgency to make moves this offseason? Unfortunately for Miami fans, it wasn't their team. I'm not even here to say the Diamondbacks made a lot of moves, but at least they're doing something. And I'm just going to come out and say there's something not right about this team, because their former general manager left this offseason. She did not exercise her option for the 2024 season because she found out the Marlins were trying to hire a position that would essentially keep her from doing her job. And to me, this seems like ownership did not trust their own general manager, the same general manager who just brought them to the playoffs. And considering the new guy hasn't done shit yet, I'm not feeling really good if I'm a Marlins fan. The Marlins pitching is phenomenal. I have no doubt they are going to perform well next year. But they're trotting out the same lineup that did not show up last October. Their only big offensive signing was Trey Mancini to a minor league contract. Well, good luck, Miami, hoping to ride your pitching to the playoffs again and not adding any bats. I look forward to not watching any of your games. Number 2 on my list of teams I am least excited to watch this season is the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim. I tried to stray away from teams that we all know are going to be bad this year, like Kansas City, Colorado, the White Sox, but the Angels are just in their own class of crap. First of all, it's a crime in itself to have Mike Trout rotting away on your roster for another season. Jesus Christ, this guy's never even won a playoff game. He's only played in 3, and that was 10 years ago. He's past his prime now. We will never get to see peak Mike Trout in the playoffs, and that pisses me off. They could have traded Ohtani last season, at least got something back. You knew he was leaving, and that decision's an even bigger head scratcher for me because it came out that before Ohtani signed with the Dodgers, he reached out to the Angels and wanted to see if they would match the deal. He wanted to stay, and the Angels obviously did not want to do the same contract. So what the hell? Why did you not swap him at the deadline? You really thought you were going to make the playoffs? Well, they did, and it failed. And looking at their projected opening day lineup, I'm getting sick. Pretty much no protection for Mike Trout. Who knows if Anthony Rendon's even going to play more than 10 games? I have little hope Joe Adell is going to beat those quadruple A allegations. But don't worry, Angel fans, you did make one offensive signing, Aaron Hicks. Yuck. Funny thing is, the Angels actually did have a focused free agency push this offseason. It was just for relievers, though, signing Robert Stevenson, Matt Moore, Luis Garcia, Adam Simber, and Jose Cisnero. And to that I say, who cares? The Angels' only hope of having any sort of chance of a compelling season is if fringe signings like Francisco Mejia and Miguel Sano pan out, and guys like Mickey Moniak, Logan O'Hoppe, Nolan Schonnel, and Zach Neto have big seasons. But how many of us actually believe that? It's going to be looking real ugly at Angel Stadium without all the Ohtani hype this year, and I'm not going to be looking at that dumpster fire. Mike Trout, I'm so sorry. And here we are. This should be obvious to everyone. My number 1 team I am least excited to watch this season is, for the final time, your Oakland Athletics. And they're at the top of this list because, honestly, every A's game I'm going to watch this year, I'm going to have some sadness coming over me. It is most likely the last year that they are going to be the Oakland A's. And everything about the situation is just horrible. Horrible for the fans. Horrible for baseball. Horrible precedents being set all around. For those of you not informed, I'm going to break this down very simple. I might gloss over a lot of details. Please do your own research into this topic if it interests you. But the basics are, the last 11 years, the owner of the A's, John Fisher, has very disingenuously tried to get a new stadium in Oakland. They went through multiple proposed sites, renderings. Fisher wouldn't concede on some points. The city of Oakland would not concede on some points. And things just stalled. But in a letter the current Oakland mayor sent to major league owners during the All-Star break, she outlined the fact that Just when things started to seem like they were making progress, John Fisher shocked the world and announced his intentions to move to Vegas. And the bumbling idiot of a commissioner, Rob Manfred, is letting it all happen along with his owner buddies. Even though the public sentiment to getting the A's in Vegas is lukewarm at best, politicians pushed this bill through and got things done this summer, putting an end to the A's chapter in Oakland. The site that they approved to build the stadium at is currently being demolished, and construction's going to be starting soon. Wait? Sorry, that's not correct. Even though all this passed in summer of last year, we have not seen any new renderings. We are seeing pissed off teachers in Nevada, one of the worst states for education in the entire country, and they're pissed off because $380 million of taxpayer money is going to go towards this sham of a stadium. That's not even to mention that the city of Oakland already procured $428 million for making a new stadium, on top of $500 million that the team would get through taxes. So when you start looking closer at this, it really doesn't make sense why nothing has happened yet. The only explanation is that John Fisher is a fucking idiot. And it looks like the mayor of Las Vegas agrees, because she even wants the A's to stay in Oakland. But why are we taking a team with so much history away from a very passionate fan base? You saw the crowd at that 2019 wildcard game. I was there. The A's crowd in the playoffs is an unreal atmosphere, unlike almost nothing else. There are tons of fans. There's just a really good reason they don't show up. And I find it laughable that those politician chumps in Vegas believe a gentleman's agreement from John Fisher that he's going to buy players. Are you fucking serious? A 5-year-old would have a better time figuring out this lie. They've all been paid off to say positive things, but as days pass by and we still have no news, they're starting to look like bigger idiots than they were in the first place. I'm praying for something to happen. Please sell the team. Please do something. And until then, every time I see the A's on my screen in 2024, I'm just going to be sad at what could be. And that is why they are my #1 team I am least excited to watch this season. Please give me your list in the comments. If you are not subscribed and you enjoyed this video, please consider subscribing. I'd love to hear your thoughts down below on what you thought about this one. If you like this type of content, please let me know down below. I'm looking to do whatever the fans want. Until then, this is Sean, and that was my top 5.